ordered exactly what I told you he would order on Friday. The order says that he's acting as he's instructing all his cabinet members to immediately send out economic relief to American families as quickly as possible. Now, what's interesting about this is exactly what I had told you would be announced, would be done today. And that's exactly what happened today. But what exactly does it mean? And is it different than the executive orders we saw for the last 3 days? Meantime, what's happening with the third stimulus package, and suddenly why are parts being taken out? I have all the big details, and this is a major afternoon's recording of Being a Mitch. Thank you for joining me on Afternoons LATE with a big, lighthearted, easy breezy recording that is now live shortly after 4 o'clock if you're tuning in directly on the West Coast, or on the East Coast, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll be going over what's happening this afternoon on stimulus, and I'll be answering some of your questions at the 25-minute mark. There'll be a 15-minute mark update and also a 30-minute mark update. And if you join during this video, I'll give you a shout out as well. I'm so excited for you. So much exciting, great details. But first, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do. Like this video. And if you've not become a member by clicking the member link in the description, in the pinned comment, and also at the top of the video. Become a Purple Power member, Calcino VIP, or Purple Hawk. In this video, I'll need members that are already in the room to help me out with something. And I want you to help me out with the following. If anyone says a comment like, when's that $1,400 stimulus check under the third stimulus package coming to my bank account? Please use the emoji donut. Also use the emoji not bill yet, not law yet. If someone says, when are they adding that $200 to my SSI check? Use the donut emoji again. And also the emoji for not bill yet, not law yet. Finally, if someone says, have they signed that bill yet for the $1,400 stimulus check? Use the emoji not bill yet. In the last few hours, I've seen a lot of people act like someone suddenly has a bill somewhere that I've never heard about, that they've called it for a vote that I didn't know about a vote, and that they've actually announced the checks are on their way under the third stimulus package. Yeah, that's why you tuned into me. Hey, Tim, thank you for joining the room. Welcome to the family, Tim. I'm so excited for you. When do I get my 7th stimulus check? The real Cedric and Tim. Thank you, Tim and the real Cedric, for becoming part of this family. Everyone welcome the real Cedric and the real Tim. When am I getting my 9th stimulus check? Has it gone out yet? I'm waiting for it for next year. They sending it 3 years early. Has it gone out yet? That's what I'm seeing today. So I'm a little confused where this is all coming from, and every time I see it, I just... Every time I see it, I'm like, you want some, is it glazed donut, or is it a cherry-filled donut? God bless you. All right, let's get to the details as you sit here today. The executive orders have absolutely been delicious across the board. And at the same time, it may have been confusing for some viewers. Third stimulus package was, if you're pulling up that PDF of Monday for members of this channel, third stimulus package was supposed to have 22 items that, I've been detailing to you. Why do I know there's 22 items? Because we have them in a 30-page description, 30-page summary of the third stimulus package bill that has yet to be introduced. And when you go through the 22 items, tonight there's less than 22 items. Why? Because they have actually been removed from the third stimulus package now and done by executive order. Someone earlier today said, but that's not law yet. Wrong emoji. When something becomes executive order, oh, it's law. It's law that minute. So let me go over what was in third stimulus and is now law. Hey, Jeffrey. Everyone welcome Jeffrey to the room. I'm so excited for you. Everyone welcome Jeffrey to the family. The items that are now law as of tonight and are no longer part of a potential future third stimulus package bill are the following. SNAP increases for an additional 6 months on top of the 6 months you already had. Second stimulus gave you SNAP for 6 months. This gives you an additional 6 months of SNAP. PEBT, which some cases may not have been national, is now national. So PEBT is now national and it's getting a 15% increase. Wow. What is SNAP and what is PEBT? They're both food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture, 211. How much are they? PEBT is about $114 a month per child that has to stay home because the school is closed. You got to cook for the child. Uh, SNAP is food for a family or an individual. SNAP for family of four in Hawaii is about $1,400. So suddenly you see something that could be $1,400 for a family of four in Hawaii, increasing 15% for 1 year. And then you see PEBT, which is about $114, suddenly increasing for 15% for another 1 year. Okay, those are out of the third stimulus package. They're now law. Congratulations, you're ending the week with two items of the third stimulus package as law. Well, not two, I got more for you. Wednesday started with eviction moratorium, now law again. It was law under the second stimulus package. It was to expire the end of January. Now it's expiring, I think, the end of September. Mortgage forbearance, now law. It's now law. We need an emoji for this one. It is law now. It is law now. So you cannot be foreclosed upon if you have a federally backed mortgage, only federally backed mortgages. Finally, student loan debt repayment is on moratorium, not forgiven on moratorium. It's law now. So now how many laws are we up to? We're up to 6 laws, 6 stimulus laws in less than 3 days. And I'm not done yet. The day also started with more announcements across the board. And those included a incredible hazard pay paid sick leave blender. How does this work? It's only for a finite group of people that work for a government contractor, which is not a government employee. It's a government contractor. An example is perhaps you work for a gardening company that mows the lawn in the federal building. The U.S. government pays the private company to mow the lawn, and then hires you at $8 a week and doesn't give you paid sick leave. Not after today. Today, you're now at $15 an hour minimum with paid sick leave, which could be up to $1,400 a week. Oh my goodness, so much deliciousness there. So this is all really incredible, great news. I'm so excited for you right there. The next one that I want to go over is the excitingness of the third stimulus items. Now, when we go over third stimulus items, hey, Billy B, everyone welcomes Billy B to the room. Welcome, Billy B, to becoming part of the Purple Family, becoming a Purple Hawk. Hey, Billy B. When we're going over third stimulus package items, earlier today, I relaunched Purple Power because 2 of the items need some fixing. Now, when I say fixing, I mean items that are in there need fixing. By all accounts, this is not the time or place to say, let's add some stuff that isn't in there. So I've seen some people say, how about we add, some Parmesan cheese in there? I'm like, it's not in there. Why are we adding Parmesan cheese? So the 2 things that need fixing in the third stimulus package that you have been starting your very good Purple Power Twitter campaign and social media campaign are the FPUC and and also the MSC. First, the FPUC is currently at $400 a week going forward to September, and the UI to September and the PUA to September. But during the campaign trail, we were told it's FPUC retro at $600 a week. So that triggers the first campaign of the Purple Power, hashtag FPUC retro, and also hashtag LA, hashtag Purple Power. That's self-explanatory. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. The next one is MSC. And someone just said I just tweeted that. Yes, absolutely. Hashtag MSC. The one thing I don't think I'd make, hey, Bill Huffman, everyone welcome Bill to the family. Welcome, Bill, from becoming a Purple Hawk. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone welcome Bill to the family. The history of the third stimulus package bill is everything has been written from scratch with the exception of the stimulus check. So this is a little peculiar. If you're taking the stimulus check not from scratch, then where did it come from? It came from the Cash Act. And it was not supposed to, the Cash Act was not supposed to be um, a stimulus package. Cash Act was supposed to fix the second stimulus and the first stimulus before we get to the third stimulus. Now Cash Act is the only stimulus check. Doesn't make sense. You were supposed to get $3,400, or you're supposed to get $3,400. Everyone was supposed to get $3,400. You're supposed to get $2,000 and $1,400 at least. Now you're getting $1,400 or $3,200 adult dependent. Not particularly fair. So certainly get that campaign going. All right, now that we're at the 10-minute mark, one of the things I want to touch over that I have seen a lot in some of the comments is that the tax credit questions. I'm really excited for viewers. Viewers certainly never heard the word tax credit on this channel before last weekend. I would have never said the word tax credit on this channel. And now viewers sort of understand the concept generally of a tax credit, and they understand how they generally work. But what I want you to understand is a few concepts, so I want to go over those right now. First, tax credits are written very specific. So if you don't hear it, don't reinvent it. I've had some people send messages, well, can I just sort of change the tax credit so it sounds like this? I'm like, no, you can't change the tax law because you don't like it. What are you talking about? Some people, that's the first version that I've heard. Some people then sometimes take the tax credit provision, which is on PDF, and then they take out half of the sentence. Which cracks me up when I hear it. The most infamous example that I've seen in the last 3 days is people hear about the earned income tax credit. You notice the word income is in the title? Earned income tax credit. Notice the word income is in the title? You think maybe income is involved with this tax credit? I think so. So that when I read this one on air, and needless to say, I give you the PDF for a reason. So so I understand these things are complicated. I want you to see it yourself. But when we go to the earned income tax credit, I say, well, for people who work in a hazard pay environment that made less than $21,000 a year, you may qualify for a $1,500 earned income tax credit. You know what some of the comments I'm getting is? So I don't work, but can I get that $1,500? Tax credits are sort of not like the salad bar. Can I have the salad? Can I have the croutons on the side because I don't really want croutons? Can you just sort of take the croutons out because I don't really want croutons? Let's recap. The earned tax credit starts with the sentence, if you work as essential worker, has a pay made less than $21,000 a year, you may get a $1,500 tax credit. Oh, so there's two parts to that sentence. So make sure you hear the whole sentence. Hey, love, love. I love you, love, love. Everyone give a lot of love to love, love, love. It's just lovely that love, love has now joined the room. Give a lot of love to love, love, love. I don't want to get into, I don't want to violate anyone's copyright by singing a song. But you can sing the song in your privacy of your... Oh no, because no one can hear you singing. And if you're singing off key, that's even better. They don't know you're singing off key. So welcome love to the family. Sing your favorite love song for love. There you go. Child tax credit. Let me just make something sort of obvious. With the child tax credit, you have to have a child. Child tax credit. You sort of have to have a child. Child care tax credit. And you have to actually care for the child. So you have to have a child and actually do something. So don't think, God, if you have a child, you don't qualify. So I just having these people that sort of take the tax code and just sort of cut it in half. Child care tax credit. I care about myself. Can I get a tax credit? No. No, it's called child care tax credit, not self-care tax. I go get my face done every day, every week at the spa. Can I get self-care tax credit? No, it's called child care tax credit. And I'm actually getting these comments, so I don't know if they're punking me or they're actually serious. And they're sending them to the volunteers also, so God bless the volunteers that are getting these questions. Can I get child tax credit if I don't have a child? Yeah, sure. Maybe I'll see you in prison with that one. Finally, the child tax credit. And when I said, well, if it's 17 years or younger, and then kids 16 years of younger, and people saying, hey, I have an 18-year-old, what can I do? That's not this channel. The tax code is 17 or under. Now I understand it was high, it used to be lower, and Joe Biden's raising it. But people are asking me, like, can Joe raise it from, just make an exception for me and raise it a little bit higher? No, these are laws. You can't just sort of modify the law. Just So when I put on here child tax credit and that Joe's doing it from 17 down, you can't just say, hey, can we do it for 18? Is this, can I swap 17 for 18? Instead of Thousand Island, can I get vinaigrette? I don't know what people are coming up with. It's very inventive, but I really appreciate it. Rory, hey Rory, thank you for becoming a Purple Power. Welcome from becoming a Purple Power. How are you? Everyone, welcome Roy to the room. Now, at the 15-minute mark, I want to give you a big update before I go back to reality. One last thing is I'm getting people with these ridiculous scenarios, and I don't know, do you know that it's ridiculous, or are you just playing games with me? People are saying, I rent a room for my sister, or I tell my sister to watch my kid when I go cheat on my wife or something. Can I get a tax credit for that? I don't know. It's always these strange scenarios. I'm just like, no, I just don't where you things come up with. So there we go. At the 16-minute mark, let me give you a big update where we are across the board. Chrissy's asking about the $1,400 stimulus check. Has it been sent out? Help her with some emojis there. Let me give you a big update where we are in the afternoons. Joe Biden just minutes ago issued another executive order, more like a directive, but it's called an executive order, that says he's instructing his cabinet members to send out economic stimulus right away, which is, let me read my brother's in a wheelchair but is able to work a certain amount of hours. He's a dependent on my part. Does he get the adult dependent credit? Adult dependent credit. There is no adult dependent credit. There's an earned income tax credit. Look at number 20 on your PDF. I don't know if he's working in a hazard pay environment. So if he's working in a hazard pay environment, then yes, he would qualify there. But I don't know if he is. Great question, though. The big update is that Joe Biden just issued an executive order saying, I'm ordering my cabinet members to use their entire authority to send out stimulus. So what does that mean? It's sort of the result of everything that's been building up to today. And shortly after this, I'm going to go over where we are on all those departments and where they are on your stimulus. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe, like this video. And if you've not become a member, click the member link in the pinned comment in the description at the top of the video. Become a Purple Power member, Calcino VIP, or Purple Hawk. So what does Joe really mean by that? What Joe is doing is he's looking at each of the departments that have authority to do certain things and that either haven't set out money from second stimulus or have the authority to send out their own money. And what does that mean? First stimulus, EIDL grants, unpaid. EIDL grants are being paid first under first stimulus for low income. But next, I'm reporting only on this channel, and I think Jason is reporting the same thing as well, is that after they pay off the EIDL grants for low income, then they're going to get to the EIDL grants for non-low income from 2020 applications. Then they'll head over to agricultural new applicants and new low-income applicants from 2021. Then they're turning around and paying stimulus checks from the first stimulus package and the second stimulus package that have not been paid. Viewers of this channel have not got to the $600 stimulus check. If you watch Afternoons LA, there's now 2 ways to get that $600 stimulus check. I'll be detailing them again tonight on Evenings LA on this channel. Third, I had told you that today they were going to get that second stimulus rent program going live, and they do. So I've been detailing that all across the board. That rent program will be run by your city and state. You can reach out to your city and state 2-on-1 to apply for it. I did say that it's, the law regarding it is under Treasury, but it's being administered by your city and county. But if you would rent right now, reach out to the volunteers in the pinned comment to this video. Next, utilities is going out along with rent. But what has still not gone out from the second stimulus is the free internet and the child care. Uh, and that's what Joe is really trying to do is say, hey, there's all this stuff that's unpaid from before. Let's get this going. Now, under third stimulus, what he's doing, if you're just joining me with 1,200 people already in the room, is that what Joe is doing is he's taking things out of third stimulus, out of your third stimulus bill proposal. He's taking them physically out and making them law today. So we don't have to wait several days or weeks or however long it is, centuries. And he's making them law right now. And so what do we have as new laws now that we're going into the weekend? We have a law about eviction moratorium, a law about mortgage forbearance, a law about student loan debt forgiveness, a law about SNAP for 15% for another 6 months, a law about PEBT for 15% for another 6 months. Well, no, for 6 months. A law about eviction moratorium, a law about mortgage forbearance, and a law about student loan debt forgiveness, moratorium. So suddenly you just heard that. That was what, 7 laws? 8 laws? So suddenly we have 8 laws in less than 3 days. I told you this was going to happen. So we have now gone from first stimulus and second stimulus to now first stimulus, second stimulus, and 8 laws. 8 laws. That's a lot of stuff. How am I going to refer to them as laws going forward? The executive orders. I'll just refer to them as the executive orders, one at a time and one at a time and one at a time. Now, some viewers have sent comments throughout the day. Can he take out this thing of money? Can he take out the stimulus check and make it an executive order? No, he cannot take out a stimulus check and make an executive order. Will he do the SSI and SSDI as executive order? No. Now he can fix certain things with SSI, but he cannot just sort of throw in the mail a $2,400 stimulus check for SSI and SSDI. He can't do that by executive order. Other things he can do executive orders about are things concerning anyone that is operating through the federal government. And he can do those things. He can't do hazard pay and he can't do student loan forgiveness by executive order, even though Chuck Schumer thinks he can. Who was that? I just missed that. That was Ms. Lacey. Ms. Lacey. Everyone welcome Ms. Lacey to the family. Welcome, Ms. Lacey. And so there we are. The important thing, if you did not catch yesterday's videos, over yesterday's videos, I did something that I really liked. I have not done it today, but I want to broadly say it. Hey, oh, that's a hard one. Antonope, Iotopi, Iotopi. Everyone welcome Iotopi to the room with 1,300 people in the room. Welcome Iotopi. Yesterday, I did something I really liked because I thought it was very, very fluid and very easy to follow. I haven't done it today, so let me do it right now. Is that when you're looking at third stimulus and second stimulus, there are items no less than 5 per group of viewers for this channel. If you're in the group of low income, $49,000 or less, 2019 income, including SSI and SSDI and Social Security and railroad benefits, there's about 5 stimulus items in each of the stimulus packages. 5 in the second, 5 in the third. If you have a child, there's about 5 stimulus items for you as well. If you want to own a business or you have a business, there's about 3 to 5 items for you as well. And if you're hazard pay, there's about 2 to 3 items for you as hazard pay. And that's what I want you to understand is that there's a lot of stimulus in this third stimulus package. People had become sort of numb in 2020 to just think about a stimulus check, but there's a lot more than a stimulus check in these provisions in this third stimulus package. How do we know if we're going to have hazard pay or not? Says Russell Ward. Great question. We have to go off the most recent document, and the most recent document hazard pay is the Joe Biden summary of his third stimulus bill. The summary was released last weekend, and the third stimulus summary, Russell, had federal hazard pay, private hazard pay, and excuse me, public sector hazard pay, private sector hazard pay, and the earned income tax credit, which covers hazard pay workers who make less than $21,000 a year. They get $1,500. So we have those three types of hazard pay. We have absolutely no idea what he's going to do for them. We have absolutely no idea how he's going to do them or the manner in which he's going to do them. But that's what we're going off of. So far, since I would say since last week and the week before, Joe has been very consistent on doing exactly what he's saying he's going to do since his statements of the last 2 weeks. I know he has changed his statements since the campaign trail. Yes, and he has changed his statements since the transition period. But in the last 2 weeks, he has been very consistent to the moment and the day. Chris, hey, welcome Chris for coming to Purple Hawk. Everyone, welcome Chris to the family. What I've liked so far is Joe has actually given us guidance on, in 3 days from now, I will do this. On 2 days from now, I'm going to do this. And it is exactly that. So what I like is what he's saying and that everything is lining up. When should I file my taxes? So that's a really hard decision. There's a big question at issue with that. If you go to irs.gov today, which I encourage you to do after this video, there's a little button at the top of the page. Hey Holly, everyone welcome Holly to the family. Welcome Holly to becoming a new member. If you go to irs.gov, at the front page of irs.gov in the corner, it says economic impact check or economic impact payment. Click that button and read everything in there. It basically says there's going to be two ways to get your unpaid stimulus check. One, they're going to launch a space on the website to request it. Or two, when you file your tax return, you can request the refund of that stimulus check you never got. IRS issued a new statement today that said, if you're going to go that route, get your tax return on file the very first day you're allowed to file, which is February 12th. The earliest day you're allowed to file as an individual is February 12th. They say file it February 12th. If you don't know how to request it, go to irs.gov. It's very clear. Hey, Sandra. Sandra's a new hawk. Everyone welcome Sandra. She says, I'm a new hawk. And there you go. At the 27-minute mark. Let me answer some more questions. That was a really great question. Everyone welcome Sandra. Are they not going to do anything about lump sum for essential workers? Well, there never was a lump sum for essential workers. Nancy Pelosi's bill was $13 an hour, up to a ceiling. Hey, Mari. Everyone welcome Mari to the room. And so understand that so far, in going over Joe's 22 items in the PDF of this channel, which I always repost the PDFs in the evenings, in the afternoons and the evenings, and going over the 22 items, he's been very consistent on these 22 items. And so if you understand those 22 items, that's what we're dealing with yet. We're not dealing with anything but those 22 items. Hey, Sherry. Everyone welcome Sherry to the family. What I miss? Is the student loan on hold for federal? Yeah. So student loan, federal student loans are now on hold for both principal and interest. I just saw a question about non-filer filings. And I also saw a question about executive orders for stimulus checks. Cannot do executive orders for stimulus checks. You can't do an executive order, say send out money in the mail. You just can't do that. Now, you heard me all throughout 2020 talk about you can repurpose money at SBA. Yeah, you can do that. But you can't do executive orders to take money out of Treasury and put it in the mail. So you can't do executive orders for $1,400, and you can't do executive orders for SSI, $2,400. What was that other question? It was a really good question. I just forgot it. I'm sorry. I can't remember what that question was. But anyway, so let me see. Oh, I know what it was. Someone asked about the non-filer filing. The non-filer filing is not the fix for anything at the moment. I guess that's the best way to say it. The non-filer filing is not the fix for anything at the moment. If you're missing a stimulus check, it's not the non-filer filing. To get a tax credit, not a non-filer filing. They're specifically saying if you want to miss stimulus check, if it's missing, you're going to do the process we tell you. It's not live yet, or you file a tax return and request the refund of it, and there you are. Um, Someone said send a community message. So if you reach out to one of the volunteers in the community, they didn't respond back to you, you can always reach out to another one. Hey, well, hey, how are you? Oh, me. And there's Cruz Ron. Hey, Cruz, welcome to the family. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for becoming part of the family. To get a adult dependent, they'd have to file, or so that's a great question. Everyone, welcome Cruz to the family. The adult dependents don't have to do anything. Under the third stimulus package, adult dependents would get a $3,200 stimulus check. The adult dependent stimulus check would go to the person whose tax return they appear on as a dependent. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to wait for that check to come. Now, the check doesn't come under the third stimulus package, which is not law yet, not bill yet. Then you deal with the situation then. Where to go to see the executive order on rent? Okay, so great question. It's not an executive order on rent. The rent is the second stimulus. And where to see it? It's going to be in your city and county. That's where you're going to apply. You call 211 or 311 where you're located and ask them if they've gone live with the rent program under the stimulus package from December. It just happened today, so I don't expect them to have the money for a couple of days. But if you need rent assistance right now, reach out to the volunteers in the pinned comment to this video. What about the adult dependent who filed their tax return? Let me answer that. And let me see how sophisticated the viewers are in this room. Someone just asked me, what about the adult dependent who filed the tax return? Uh, does that make sense or does that not make sense? Put in the comments if you think it does not make sense or makes sense. I want to see if people understand these things. One said no. Screen stopped. Does not make sense. No, not make sense. Yes. No, no. So two no's and one yes, and then more no's. Yeah. So hey, Loenis, thank you for the dancing pair. Loenis with the dancing pair. Yeah. So if you're a dependent, it means you're on someone else's tax return. The adult dependent files themselves. There's no such thing as an adult dependent files themselves. It does not make sense. If that's not what an adult. Let me explain. A dependent means you appear on someone else's tax return. An adult dependent means you file on someone else's tax return. You appear on someone else's tax return. Adult dependent means you appear on someone else's tax return. If you file a tax return yourself, you're not an adult dependent. You're an individual. So let me give you an example. If potentially you're referring to a kid, your child who's in college, who's like 18 years old, he files his own tax return. He's not an adult dependent. He's an adult who's filing his own tax return. So one viewer said double filing. It could be double filing. I hope it's not double filing. But if your kid's in college and he files his own tax return, which he's allowed to do, he's an individual. He's no different than you or me. He's an adult filing his own tax return. But he's not an adult dependent. He's a dependent because he's on someone else's tax return. Double the trouble. Yeah. Watching the hockey game tonight. Show me the moolah. At the 33-minute mark, what a day it is. I'll be back tonight with you can file a simpleton if you're a dependent and make less than a few $1,000s to get I don't know what that was. Happy Friday, everyone. If you got rent assistance before, you can get a rent assistance again. There's Tad with the dancing pair. Thank you, Tad, with the dancing pair. What a great night it is. I'm so excited you joined me. What happened to FPUC, Retro FPUC? Hey, that's absolutely true. That was early in this video. So let me give you an update now at the 35-minute mark. One, The campaign, Purple Power is back, baby. Purple Power is back. Take this video and tag the elected officials. Hey, Amy, for the American for the dancing something. Uh, the Purple Power is back. Hashtag MSC, hashtag FPUC Retro. Because the third stimulus package bill is still in flux. It's still negotiable. So let's negotiate and push as the Purple Power say, hey, it should be FPUC Retro and it should be MSC. Next, there have been no less than 7 executive orders passed within 3 days. I detailed them early in this video, and I'll cover them again tonight on Evenings LLate. There's a lot to know, and there's a lot to see. But you could see a lot of unpaid items from second stimulus and first stimulus start to get paid on Monday because of these major developments in the last 3 days. This is besides EIDL. This is besides rent. Kathy for the massive super chat. I appreciate Kathy. The dancing bear with the big super chat. I really thank you, Kathy. So there you are. Join me tonight on Evenings LA. I will be going over second stimulus, which is SSI and also SSI and EIDL, and also these executive orders. Then I'll be back on third stimulus, which will cover what is left of third stimulus. You know, there's some stuff left as he tries to cut the rest of it. Hey, Denise, everyone, welcome Denise to the family. And if you've not liked this video, like the video, hit the alert button. And there's just Swan. I love the purple. Well, I love you. I love that you love the purple and you're part of the family. I appreciate that greatly. And there's Paula with the dancing pears. There's a lot of dancing pears tonight. And if you've not become a member, please become a member. Click the member link in the pinned comment in the top of the description and also in the video. Back tonight with 2 videos. First, evenings check at 6 p.m. live. Then 7 o'clock, third stimulus live. And then if you're still, you know, not too drunk at the casino, you can tune in for Hazard Pay at 10 p.m., which will be taped, but a live chat. Stay informed, stay focused, and save LA for more.